everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Something Super Spiritual Live. And we have the fabulous Cynthia Fontaine back with us again. Thank you so much for being here, darling.
Oh my gosh, darling. Thank you so much for inviting me. I absolutely adore you, and I love spending time with you and your audience. It's always so much fun.
Thank you. I adore you too. The feeling is mutual. So how you been? How's your week?
My week's been really great, actually. I'm getting a lot done. I'm really taking advantage of this energy that we're in, sort of like we're today's May Day, right?
Yeah.
Beltane. There's all different cultures call it different things. And so I've been getting a lot done, like clearing things out. I'm getting ready to have a big yard sale. So I'm clearing out closets and all things like that. And I always say when there's a ring, a ding, a chime, a bell, a bang, or whatever, that's spirit saying that's a punctuation mark. It's a truth, right?
Oh, agreed.
Yeah. So it's a great time actually to do that. We're at the halfway point between spring and summer. And if you haven't done your spring cleaning yet, what are you waiting for?
That's a really great point.
Yeah. What are you waiting for?
It's a really great point. I've been in this space recently of just down, energetically, not myself, not up, not, you know what I mean? I'm not sad. I have nothing to be sad about, right? But just down. And now that you mention it, I haven't done my spring cleaning yet and I'm so I usually do every year. I do this big spring cleaning where as I'm spring cleaning, with the closets, the dresser, taking out all the old clothes that I'm done with.
Yes.
It's metaphorical for all of this inside as well, spring cleaning all of this on the inside. So maybe that's it.
Oh, could be. I know, even growing up, it was a big thing in my house where soon as the temperature hit like 50 to 55, the heat was off, the windows were open, and we were scrubbing down every nook and cranny of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it, as a kid, who wants to do that? Nobody. but as an adult, I really appreciate now that my mom did that, because it's sort of like this ritual thing that you're allowing the sort of the old stale winter energy to flow out and opening up for new energy to come in. And it's the same thing, whether you're cleaning surfaces or cleaning out your closets and clothes and things like that. A funny thing, I think we might have talked about this, because I was on vacation a couple of weeks ago, so I went to buy some new clothes, and the reason was not because I needed clothes, but I was going through my closet and some pictures came up on my phone feed, and from 10 years ago, and I'm going, oh my God, I've been wearing these same clothes for 10 years. I said, oh, it's things that I love, but still, I'm like, wait, they've really held up well. I said, I think it's time for some new clothes.
It's so funny. Evan and I just had that conversation recently. Those 10-year memories pop up, and he's wearing the same clothes, and he's always wearing the same clothes, and we just laugh. I said, honey, that's how old your shit is.
Right. I mean, it's a good point. It's like, especially if you have stuff that you haven't worn in years, or things that you haven't used in years, it vibrationally, it holds that energy of stagnation, and it can affect you mentally, physically, emotionally, where you get sort of in this blah place. and you might not know what's causing it. And it can be as simple as clearing out your old stuff, because
Oh, sure.
yeah, like you said, it's clearing out not just the stuff on the surface, but the inside as
Mhm,
well,
mhm.
you know. And so I love to do that, and my closet is calling me because it's such a mess right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that this weekend. Thank you for that. That's
Yeah,
totally
it
what I'm
always
gonna do.
it makes me feel better. And and then afterwards you look around and everything is like sparkly and bright, and
Uh-huh.
it's just so much lighter. So I did one house over the weekend, and now I'm in my house that has I have there's so it's I have sort I'm kind of a little spoiled. I have sort of like a weekend summer house, and then I have a my house that's got my office in it and everything, and they're only like 10 minutes away from each other, but I love it because when I go to the other house, I try not to work.
Mhm, mhm.
So I do have an office there, but it's not a fully staffed office. It's bare minimum. So if I have to work, I can, but I try not to work when I'm there. So I went through that whole house over the weekend, and now I'm working on the main house, which is a bigger project because it's a lot more stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I might be getting ready to move too, so it's double incentive for me, because I'm not sure where I'm going yet. And I'm in a 2,000 square foot house, which isn't huge, but I have a lot of stuff in a 2,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
Yeah, 60 years of stuff, so
Yeah.
so anyway, so it's good. So I have a big yard sale pile started. I've been donating stuff, and it's been really good. And and my daughter is getting ready to go out on her own. Well, not exactly on her own. She's moving in with her partner, and so we're splitting stuff up also, because even though most of the stuff is mine, she's like, "Well, Mom, you hardly ever use the espresso maker. Can I take it?" And it's like my grandmother's cookbooks, and she's like, "You hardly ever use them." I'm like, "Look, we're gonna have a go around
A row.
about this." So have to give her a little bit of a hard time, but in the end, she'll get them.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
Let's say hi to everybody who's here today. Oh, Mary Ellen Smith. Oh, darling, I haven't seen you for years.
Mary Ellen.
It's good
Oh
to
my
see
goodness, I
you.
love Mary Ellen.
Yes.
So now I can't is there a way that I can see
Oh, yeah, hit the
people?
comments up on the top right. Hit the comments.
Oh,
So,
look
Keith.
at that.
Hi, Keith. Susan. Bernadette. Eveline. Eveline is back. Awesome.
Oh my gosh, you met Mary Ellen in 2009 with Colette. Isn't that
I
cool?
did. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Did she write that? Yeah, 2009 at Colette's. It was a 5-day workshop in Scottsdale.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so Mary Ellen and I were in Dream Quest together, Colette's big year-long mastermind, which she only did the year long for 1 year. So I'm really glad that I got in that first year, because she shortened it after that. And so that's where I met Mary Ellen. Thank you, Mary Ellen. She says I look beautiful. And Susan Brochin. Hello, Susan. Bernadette. Eveline, I hope I said your name right. Keith, of course. Keith, how are you? Great to see you. So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Keith has a lot of cookbooks. I love cookbooks too. Yeah, I have a lot of cookbooks as well. Um, but these particular cookbooks are about 100 years old, and they were my grandmother's cookbooks, and they just have even though they're old, I love the recipes in them. So I'm making like copies of the pages of the ones. Now, I turned this on Do Not Disturb. Why it's disturbing, I don't know. Apparently, Spirit wants us to pay attention.
I know.
So it's even though they're old style recipes, so they're they're a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
They're really great recipes. So I'm making photocopies of the recipes that I use all the time. And then I hope my daughter doesn't see the podcast before I tell her she can have the cookbooks.
I love those old school cookbooks.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary Ellen moved back to North Carolina.
She did? Wow. Talk about spring cleaning. It was like an energetic tsunami. Sometimes I'm well, last time, let's see, I moved 5 years ago, and it was sort of like an energetic tsunami, but I went from a 4-room condo to I don't know how many rooms are here, 8-room house.
Yeah.
And so in 5 years, I've collected a lot more things. Plus my business is expanded, and it's like you need more office space and things like that. So this time I'm actually thinking that I might have to do a separate office for a while, which I really don't like the idea of that, because I like to just roll around and roll into my office whenever I feel like it.
I totally get that. 100%.
Yeah. Mary Ellen, North Carolina. That sounds like a road trip to me.
Yeah, that is a road trip.
Yeah.
Got there just in time for Beltane. And that's, like you said, time to clear some things out.
Right. Beltane is it's a fire, the people do fire ceremonies and things. And when I do some things where if I'm ready to release some particular energy or something, I'll often write it on a piece of paper, and then I'll burn it and trust that the whatever it is, gets dispersed out to the universe, whatever it needs to be. And sometimes I'll use wish paper, and I'll make wishes.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And wish paper is like kind of light, and it burns quickly.
And it floats up.
Yeah, exactly. So I love to do wish paper sometimes. And Keith is so sweet. He says, "Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe." Keith, you're the best.
You are the best.
You are the best. And then in Hawaiian traditions, today is Lei Day, where and depending on which island depends on what flowers that they use in the leis. And so today is they celebrate this day with giving leis to other people with the flowers.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Mm-hmm. Isn't that awesome? So it's it's not too late. We still have hours of the day, depending on where you are listening to this. And if you listen to it in the future, don't worry about it being a particular day. You can still apply this, even if it's a week or a month or 2 months down the road, because clearing things out, there's no bad time to clear things out.
Totally.
Yeah. No bad time to clear things out. I feel like we need a card.
Yeah, you guys, I was just getting ready to say, if anybody, we're going to do little readings for all of you tonight. So if you have anything you'd like, a message from your guides, guardians, card pulled for you for whatever, just put it in the chat in all caps. It's a little bit easier for us to see that way. Oh, hi, Alicia. So Alicia says, I forgot you're coming on tonight. What an awesome treat. Thank you. I have a bad show. I'm grateful. Oh, thank you, Alicia. That so just lifted me up a little bit. Yeah, thank you.
That's so sweet. All right, I feel like we need a collective card. One card fell out. That'll be the jumper. I won't read that as the main card, but let's see. What does Spirit want to share with everybody today? Nope, that one doesn't want to come out. So I fan the cards, and then I just kind of go over them, and then when one easily comes out, then I grab that one. If it doesn't want to come, I don't take it. Flexible. This is a great card, right? Yeah. It is just what it means, just what it says, right? Be flexible. So if there's something that you're holding rigidly in place right now, know that this is the time to be flexible. I feel like this is applicable to one particular person who's listening, especially. It's like you have to I feel like that somebody has their defenses up, and it's time to sort of like be a little bit more flexible and know that this situation is going to work out, but you have to be a little bit less rigid and more flexible, and then things will start moving along. So I feel like that there's some stuckness, and I feel like that being flexible will help things move along. And I mean, that's for everybody, but I know there's one particular person who's in the thread who this really applies to. And let me get the jumper card to see what that is. Oh, higher power. And yeah, so it's connecting with the divine, whatever you call that, whether it's God or nature or whatever. It doesn't matter what you believe to or subscribe to, but it's connecting in with that, with the source, with the collective energy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really beautiful. The card that came out for us on my side with regard to this is Serenity. Oh. And so here's the hit that I received from the flexible, along with obviously all of what you said. But for me, because I've been feeling on this downside, this downslope the last, 5 days or so, I think that we need to be aware and conscious that we need to be flexible with our own ebbs and flows. You know what I mean? With our own emotional ebbs and flows, because we aren't on all the time. We can't be. And like I was describing to you, like, I'm not sad. I haven't been sad about anything. I have nothing to be sad about. But I've just been on this down. Yeah. And it just made me realize that I need to be a little bit more flexible and hold a little bit more grace for myself and the space that I am in. And remember that there's peace and serenity in this space of downness, and that's totally okay. And with regard to that higher power card, I mean, it's in these moments where, when you're feeling down and you're feeling disconnected from yourself, you're feeling disconnected from spirit. You're like, is anybody there? Can anybody? God, are you there? It's me, Margaret. Hello.
Oh my God.
Where are you? And we just get to these periods where it just feels like we are suddenly all alone. And really to remember with regard to that higher power that we're never, ever alone, ever. No matter how much we feel like we are, we aren't. And that's a really great reminder that the flexibility, being flexible with ourselves, serenity and peace in those down moments, and even, however those down moments show up for us, and that higher power is always there with us.
Right. Yes, 100%. And I love how the 3 cards really work so well together, right? Mm-hmm. So, because for me, when I connect in with my higher power, I feel more serenity. Mm-hmm. It's when I'm trying to do things on my own and figure things out, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do or which way to go or what do I choose, or right. And I get in the spin when I take the time to sit, connect in with my higher power. Sometimes it's being out in the garden or going for a walk or meditating. There's so many different ways that we can connect in. And that's when then the serenity wave comes over me. And I love what you said about allowing yourself grace when things are ebbing and flowing, because life is always in an ebb and flow, right? If we were moving forward all the time, then we wouldn't have the opportunities for self-reflection and to feel the emotions of things that come up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I love that. I really love that. It's so important, right? To give ourselves grace and allow ourselves some space to be like, hey, I don't know why I'm feeling sort of this way. Maybe I don't need to know exactly what the reason is, right? And maybe it's a collective sort of energy.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Everybody here is tapped in to the collective. Yeah. Everybody here that shows up to these things with us are, they're awake
100%
and on their path. So, yeah, there is a lot that we might just be, tapping into and not even realizing it.
Right. And, and there's it's great that you can ask yourself also, is this my energy? Is this my sort of blasé? Is this my sadness or whatever is coming up for you? and learn to tune into your body, because your body will answer you. If you know how to use a pendulum or dowsing rods, you can ask that way. You can even pull a card and ask, is this my energy, or is this somebody else's energy, or the collective energy that I'm picking up? Right. Because if it is somebody else's energy or the collective energy, then you want to maybe move that through rather than sit on it for a while.
Yeah, definitely. You're moving it through and clearing it out with, a little bit of a little ritual, sage, or oils, or, even a Reiki shower,
Yes, I love that. I love that. So for people that don't know what a Reiki shower is, do you want to give them a little highlight? Explain what a Reiki
So,
shower would
yeah,
be?
the Reiki shower can look, it can look different for each of us.
Mhm.
I mean, we can, those of us that are attuned to the Reiki can, literally hold our hands up here and shower ourselves with that cleansing vibe, that cleansing energy, just right through us.
Mhm.
But I like to, when I'm in the shower, I literally turn the shower into a Reiki shower as well, where I'm, I've blasted the shower head, so that it's coming through within the Reiki. So that's another way that I make that Reiki shower happen.
I love that you do that. What a great idea. Yeah, what a great idea. I really, really love that. And for people who aren't attuned to Reiki, because I'm a Reiki master and I teach Reiki, and I'll often have people that come to me and they'll be like, I haven't been attuned to Reiki, but I feel like that there's energy running through my hands. And there is, right? So Reiki is a specific modality that the energy is we're using the heart chakra energy. I can't believe this is the third time. Wow. Spirit really wants us to get the point today.
That's
Holy
awesome.
smokes. That is too funny. I have checked this and made sure it was on just do not disturb 3 times. So, so this is important for those of you who aren't attuned to Reiki. Don't worry, right? I love Reiki. Reiki is a really great thing. If everybody learned how to do Reiki, I think the world would be a more beautiful place. And Reiki, by the way, learning Reiki or other healing modalities actually opens up your psychic channels. So if you've been trying to open up your psychic channels and you've taken classes, or you're working with someone, or you're just trying to do it on your own, learning energy work actually helps open those channels. So it just food for thought.
Uh-huh, definitely. And I'm glad you said that too. I was going to say that next as well. If you are not attuned to the Reiki, Reiki is the Japanese words for universal life force energy. And let's be honest, let's be clear, all of us are connected to the life force energy. We wouldn't be here if we weren't. We've got life force moving through us, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
the being connected to the Reiki is just a conscious way of attuning yourself to the higher force in that specific modality, right? But
Yes.
if you are not attuned to the Reiki, you can do that in the shower as well. You can go in the shower and ask your guides and your guardians to, shower through this healing energy through your shower head.
Yeah,
Bam, you
100%.
just did it.
Yes, 100%, 100%. You can even imagine different colors, right? The water being different colors, or even you can just imagine sitting in your office or wherever and imagine a shower of different colors of light just pouring over your body and through your body. And that's another great way to do a little cleansing too. Cleansing and energizing.
Yes.
I love how we don't really plan anything. And yet things just work out. And
I know. Spirit just like drives this conversation. It's awesome.
yeah, definitely we're not in the driver's seat for this.
Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna go, Cynthia, go to the comments,
Yes.
and you can move the your mouse over any of them and highlight. You can star, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pick one first to get started here.
Okay, great.
And Carol, first one that I see. Hi, Carol. Carol would love a card from her guides. All right.
Awesome. So we all have spirit guides, and I know probably whoever is listening it is familiar or aware of that. And our spirit guides they're waiting for us to ask for their help. They can't intervene without our asking. So if you are looking for some additional support, help from the other side, you have to ask your guides. You have to engage with them and enlist them into helping you with different things. I love my parking guides.
Oh yes, the parking angels are very helpful.
Parking angels. And I love that you said angels, because I actually use angels and guides interchangeably, although some people would argue with me, because angels haven't had a physical presence and guides have had a physical presence. So that's the difference, but I use them interchangeably.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. But an angel can step in on our behalf without our asking if it's in our best and highest good. A guide cannot, for those that are really looking for the difference in how they operate. Ooh, interesting.
Got a jumper.
It went into the trash can. That's interesting. All right, Jeffrey, what do you have?
All right, Carol. So Carol, I just want to talk about you for a second. It feels to me like you are in somewhat of a shift that, like, it feels really good to me. It feels really good. It feels like you're in the flow. It feels like the things are happening. And let me know, Carol, if this resonates with you. But I feel like that there are, it's like the doors have opened, the opportunities are coming at you in ways that are really inspiring you. Oh, well, Carol just said she recently asked mine at night to bring her a restful, peaceful sleep, and it's worked. Yeah. So here's the thing, Carol. Yeah, I really feel like you are absolutely connected. And it feels to me like the spiritual connection of yours is a little bit more, there's a little bit more awareness around it. And it feels to me like there's a little bit more, well, I'm going to say like it feels like you're in the flow. It feels like the opportunities are coming at you. And I want to encourage you to let the rest of this year be your yes year.
So interesting. The card that jumped out of the deck is To the Sea, which is about being in the flow. So you can't make this up, right? We're 3,000 miles apart using different decks, and the same basic card shows up for Carol. And I love that. And this card is like, indicates to me that you're pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because like if you see the arrow on the front of the boat, it's giving you a direction. It's pointing in a direction. And I feel like you do have assistance from the other side, because look at the guide there in the card. I don't know if you can see that up in the sort of hidden in the clouds. So I feel like that she's divinely protected, and that she doesn't have to work so hard. I feel like that she's been working hard, and that now it's time for her to sort of take the oars out of the water and follow this, let the boat follow the stream, go with the flow, right? It's like Abraham Hicks says, take the oars out of the water and stop fighting the stream, right? Yeah, I love that. It's, I love how spirit works. Here we are so far apart, and yet
I love that too. And that's awesome. Carol, she said that she recently had hip surgery, and that's huge in itself. I mean, that's going to carry you moving forward, even easier.
Right.
She does feel freer than she has in a long time. So, it absolutely feels that way to me too.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm scrolling here to see.
Oh, she named her colt Abraham after Abraham Hicks.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you, Carol.
Yeah, I think I saw that Mary Ellen wanted a card, but I don't know if it was anything particular. Let's see. I'm scrolling back up because it was a while ago. Let's see. I love that she says it's like
got it.
Any message she have. Okay, awesome. All right, Mary Ellen. So nice to see you. And I feel like that the move has been really good for you, although it has been a little stressful and challenging, and it feels like you have a lot on your plate. And moving forward, you will have, I feel like you have added responsibilities. But that being said, I feel like it's a really good move for you. And I do feel like that you're going to settle in sort of into North Carolina. Do you have woods around you? I feel like I'm going in the woods. Um, so treat area, I feel like that I want to be out in nature, spending time in nature. And um, yeah, I think you're really going to like it down there full time. I know you have spent some time down there, but I feel like that this is a good move and it's going to help you be sort of more centered and grounded in one place rather than having your energy split. So let's see what card is for Mary Ellen. Oh, all that glitters. Well, Mary Ellen, we know the meaning of this card. I'm pretty positive you know the meaning of this card. And, it's, remember, all that glitters is not gold. So if something seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So if you're thinking about buying a property or anything like that, I don't feel like you're buying. But I do feel like this is around property. So just be careful and ask a lot of questions, whether you're buying or selling. Like if I had somebody message me today that wants to buy my house, and it's like one of those wholesaler people. So like just ask a lot of questions. I do feel like you have a lot of moving parts right now, but that um just again, be mindful that all that glitters is not gold, and be discerning. And I feel like I want a second card for more information. In between worlds, yeah, so you are literally in between worlds because you've just moved, and I feel like you're not settled in yet. So just take your time. Know that as you move through this period of time, things look brighter and more sparkly, right? And I feel like that the card the all the glitters with gold, even though it means pay attention, I feel like that it also means that you're moving towards a more sparkly time in this case with the between worlds cards, because I'm moving into color, right? And so I just show everybody what that card looks like so they can see what I'm talking about. You go from black and white into this beautiful color. And I feel like that's the direction you're moving in, and it's going to be sparkly. What do you have, Jeffrey?
Yeah, and I was going to say too, remember, you're not in a hurry. You don't have to have this all figured out and all put together in the next 10 minutes. But it does feel to me like it's really a good move. I think earlier you said that you went there for your parents. I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw your name, and then it said something about parents. So I feel like that you're there for the reason that you're there for, let's say it's your parents, but it feels to me like there's a lot opening up for you being out there. Like this is going to take your path and really open up in ways that it might not have in where did Cynthia go? It may not have in Arizona, where you were last. Sorry, come back. There she is.
I don't know what happened.
But yeah, Mary Ellen, it feels really good to me out there. It does feel like it's a lot more work. It feels like it's different work, but it feels like it's really much more heart-centered work. And that in itself, being that open, is you drawing and attracting that much more opportunity, that different opportunity, that much more heart-centered opportunity. I want to encourage you to make the rest of this year your yes year too, even though you've got other responsibilities out there in North Carolina, and it feels like it could be heavier responsibilities, but just continue to be open. I know you are already, but I just want to remind you.
Yeah, I love that. And I totally feel the same way. Energetically done with Arizona. Yeah, and I feel like even the weather, it's because it's very different than Arizona. I feel like even the weather at Arizona was draining you to this point. And I feel like that the weather in the Carolinas is really gonna energize you and give you a big boost. So I hope that once you settle in, I think things will be good. Things will be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Thank you, Mary Ellen.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm gonna go to Instagram now.
Oh,
And I'm gonna, let's see, the first one I see here is J.M. Reed.
okay.
J.M. Reed, 1972, would love a card, please. J.M. Reed, we put in the comments, let me know you're still there. You're welcome, Mary Ellen. Thank you.
And I love how the community in the chat here is so
Janet.
supportive of each other.
Oh, I do too. That's one of my favorite things. This is Janet. So Janet. Is in Instagram. Thank you for being here, Janet.
Yeah. Hey, Janet. So Janet would like a card, just general?
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you go first this time, Jeffrey?
All right. So there's this feeling I want to talk about. It feels like there's been a shift in the heart center, but why? So let me try to find this. Because I feel like that there have been, here's how it feels to me. It feels like that I've been hurt in a way that I really learned from, that I really grew from. And I feel like that you're in this place of growth from that hurt. Like you're recognizing that relationship, whether it was a friend or a love, however, but it feels to me like there's an absolute growth with it, with regard to your heart, your mental self. There is a sense of you really recognizing like even more love and acceptance and patience for the self. There's this feeling of really recognizing within that when we do hold that place within ourself, what is within is without. So when we start to have, shower ourselves with grace, so to speak, and look at our own past, our own behaviors, maybe we hadn't shined so much, and let's be clear, none of us do all the time. But we start to look at that in the past, and we start to recognize, oh yeah, could have done better there. Okay, yep. Now, or in with it regard to a relationship, maybe whatever you went through made you realize, now your deal breakers. Now your boundaries. Now what you're worth and what you are willing and not willing to accept. But there's this great feeling about this openness within your heart that I feel like is opening and flowing, and it feels really beautiful to me. And I just want to honor that and respect that, because that's hard work. That's hard work.
Yeah.
Oh, Janet says absolutely. Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
Awesome. And so I got a supporting card for that. Never ending story of protection. And look at the heart. Right.
Yeah.
And because the heart, is upside down regarding relationships, it's like this relationship turned your heart upside down. Right. But the card is encouraging you to not get caught up in other people's drama and trauma, and to look within and know, like Jeffrey said, know what your deal breakers are, because especially as women, we often will have deal breakers, but then we get a little soft on those deal breakers and say, well, maybe they'll change, so I'm going to stick it out, right? And so know what your deal breakers are 100%, and stick to it, especially if it's something that's really important to you. But I feel like that this is a big learning process and learning curve for you. And I do feel like that if you do the deep dive work this time around, you won't have this experience again. I feel like that this is sort of the end of, my guides are calling it a legacy. So when they say a legacy, to me, that means that this is a pattern that has been through your family lineage. So this is a pattern that has repeated not just in your own life and relationships, but in other women in your family, in their relationships. This same pattern will have shown up. So I hope that helps and makes sense, and keep doing the work, honey. You know, the personal development stuff is not easy, but it is so worth it. It's so worth it in the end.
Yeah. Completely. And I wanted to remind all of you, whether you're here with us live or you're watching this later, if anything that you're listening to resonates with you, you were absolutely supposed to be here to hear that. So even though, we're talking to Janet right now, if anything is pinging you on your insides, like it feels like we're talking to you too, we are. You're here for that, for those reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. The Cleodon, right? Where one person is the representative for a message that can be for many people.
Yes. What'd you call that?
A Cleodon.
Cleodon.
Cleodon. Yeah.
Cleodon.
Cleodon. It goes back to the age of the god, back to the age of the goddess.
I'm gonna have to look that word up when we're done here.
Yeah. Susan. My brother just released from the hospital after a close call. His name is Jim. Oh, Susan. Sorry to hear about Jim. I do feel like he's gonna be okay though. Does he have heart issues? Heart or lung? Heart, lung, heart, lung, heart. I'm in the heart and lung area. And I did see a medical question earlier, which I do want to go back to. I don't know who it was, so I'll scroll back for that. But Susan, do you know heart, lung, heart, lung?
He did. He had a heart attack, she said.
Okay, because I'm going heart, lung. Yeah. I feel like that he is going to be okay. He's going to recover. I feel like it's going to be somewhat of a little bit of a slow process for him. And I don't know. My guides are being a little bit funny. They have a sense of humor. They're saying he needs to drink more lemonade. So I'm going to say he probably needs some vitamin C. Now, I have to give the disclaimer. I do medical intuition, but I am not a medical doctor. I do not prescribe. So, whatever you hear here is just suggestions, not a prescription. I'm not a medical doctor or a medical professional. So I have to give that disclaimer. But I feel like he needs some vitamins and minerals. I feel like that for some reason his body is low on vitamins and minerals. And again, I'm not a medical doctor, but that's what I'm seeing as a medical intuitive. But he needs to take it slow, but not so slow that he babies himself out of, sort of living life, because I feel like he could fall into that, where he can take it slow, but he needs to get on a regimen with really great nutrition and supplementation and things like that, and not stop living life because of it, but take it slow, but slow and steady. So moving forward but keep moving. Hope that helps.
Oh, she said the heart attack was in the 90s.
Okay.
But she understood what you were saying. After that, she said makes sense. So yeah, so she understood.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So, and I saw her say something about a near-death experience.
Yeah, so with his heart attack, he had a near-death experience.
Oh, that's interesting.
A while ago. Yeah, 30 years ago, I bet.
Interesting. So I'm tuning into his present self though. So whatever physically he has going on right now, he needs to look at his nutrition. Okay. He needs to look at his minerals, vitamin levels, things like that. I feel like he's depleted. He's got some depletion on vitamins and minerals, and vitamin D. Almost everybody's deficient of vitamin D. But again, I'm not a medical doctor. Go get tested. And if you need vitamin D, get out in the sun first before you start popping vitamins. Get out in the sun. Yeah. Nailed it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do feel like his energy is kind of laggy. Okay. I saw the message about health and then I lost it again. Bonnie. I don't know if Bonnie is still here.
Bonnie.
Please ask my guides for a health reading for me. Bonnie, if you're here, just let us know. I feel like there's a problem with toes. Not here. Susan says she's not here.
Oh, bye, Bonnie. Okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Bonnie. All right. Let's see. Let's pick somebody else. How's Instagram looking?
Instagram. Okay, so let's see. Janet asked, what's the best way to open to spirits? Good question.
That's a great question.
It's a very good question.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Be curious and look for signs, right? Ask spirit to send you signs. And I love looking to nature for signs. If I have like a particular question that I'm looking for guidance for, I'll say like, okay, so if it's in my best and highest good to move forward with X, then I'd like to see I give you a great example. I was in Florida, and I was making a big decision about whether or not to actually jump into Colette's year-long mastermind, which was pretty expensive, totally worth it. But it was a big commitment because I had just finished 3 years of healer school that cost over $40,000. And so, it was another big financial commitment right after doing the healing school. And so, I walked the grounds in between breaks, in the break at the hotel when this offer had been made. It was at a 3-day event, and you had to sign up that day because it was she was taking very limited seats. So I said, okay, Spirit, this is a huge thing. I'm like having a freak out. You've got to show me a clear sign that this is the right thing for me. So I'm walking the property, and just as I'm getting back to the hotel, I walked all the way down to Universal Studios and back, and it was, a couple miles. And as I'm just walking through the archway of the hotel, there's a tree, and I look up, and there's a hawk in the tree just maybe about 7 feet off the ground, was really low, just sitting there on the branch. And I stood there, and I was about 4 feet away from this hawk, and I went, wow, that's interesting. And hawks are always messengers for me. And so I went back in and I asked a couple of people who were from the area, and I'm like, hey, are hawks common down here? Because hawks are kind of common where I live. And the consensus was you almost never see a hawk down here. And one of my friends said, I've seen one hawk in 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I said, okay, that's my sign. I know, because for me, a hawk is bringing me the message, right, that I'm looking for. And so I jumped in, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So you can ask spirit for signs. Meditating is a great way to invite spirit in. So praying is different than meditating. Praying is putting out. Meditating is opening up to receiving. Okay.
Listening.
Yeah. And you don't have to sit on a cushion for an hour or half an hour. If you have a good 3-minute meditation, it's better than a crappy 20-minute meditation.
Totally. And if you're a mover, a moving meditation is just as helpful. That puts you in the same place as, sitting on a pillow. The whole point is to be present in the very now, right? That's the whole point.
Yes. Yes.
And, I also want to add in there is also to know yourself, like really know yourself. If you are an artist that works with paints and colors and drawing, you're really visual. Okay. So more than likely you're super clairvoyant. So when you are asking for signs, know about yourself where your strengths may lie. Because and if you're a musician and you're really, you've got the what is that called, where you have perfect pitch. Like if you got perfect pitch, more than likely you're super clairaudient. So when you're asking for signs and you're wondering, how am I going to get them? Pay attention to how you roll. And, if you're an empath, if you feel everybody's feelings, just expect that you may be feeling some feelings from spirit that are not yours. And that's your sign. But also, like Cynthia was saying, be open to that, which, She was just kind of like following her guides unknowingly, walking outside, and boom, there's a hawk. Her guides were nudging her, go this way, go this way, go this way. And she gets outside and happens to notice this, and then feels the urge to start asking questions. Yeah. So,
Right.
so yeah, pay attention to how you roll on your insides and know that about yourself.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Like, I truly believe that we are firing on all cylinders. We're spiritual beings. We are connected and we are wired.
Mm-hmm.
We just might not realize it, you know? So in that, where you really start to realize, oh yeah, you know what? I am a musician. I have been for 30 years. I'm going to start really paying attention to, you know, to that. You could be hearing a song from the pool, maybe this, you know, and whatever phrase you hear in this lyric, that could be your sign, your answer that just like hit you in that moment. You know,
Yeah.
that's clairaudient.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many ways. There's this, and it's super fun to start recognizing that and start picking that out in your daily life and waking life, and really recognizing the true connection that we all have to spirit and to our guides and guardians and God or source or spirit, and, you know, loved ones or trees, and, you know, and the ocean and the rivers and the streams. I mean, yeah, we're all connected. We are one.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I love that, you know, you give the thought to really look at the areas where you already love, right? Like if you love music, if you even food, right? You might have the sense of smelling or tasting at clairgustance, and clear cognizance, clear knowing, right? I actually is interesting because I actually wrote about, so I have this theory that the personality profile, you'll get your clairs, um the clairs that will be more prevalent for you will be depending on what your personality profile is, right? And in the profile system that I'm trained in. And so like charismatic leaders who embrace all of the 5 personality profiles within the charismatic leader can tap into all of the clairs. And it doesn't mean that you're going to tap into them and be an expert in all of them to start with, but the charismatic leaders are the one that have the clear vision, the seeing, right? Knowledgeable achievers are the ones that have the clear cognizance, the clear knowing. You're the ones that things just drop into your head and you don't know where that thought came from, right? And one way I like to help people start to pay attention to, is this your thought or is this coming from somewhere else, is when you are actually thinking a thought, you can sort of locate it in your head. Like put your finger on, if you're thinking something right now, and everybody can do this, put your finger where it feels like that thought is living, where that thought is coming from. For me, it's here, right? When I get messages or downloads from spirit, I hear around my left ear, or the message will come in here. So I know it's not mine because it's not coming in. It's not here, right? So that's a sort of a little trick that I teach, how to know what's your thought and what is spirit coming in. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and whatever your strongest senses are, because the physical senses, the 5 senses, mirror the astral or the psychic senses, right? And we all have psychic ability. Now, not everybody is going to get to the level that like Jeffrey and I are at, because you're not here for that. So our chakras have a lot to play into that, in our personality profile and what our mission is that we've come here to accomplish. But everyone does have psychic built in, and everybody can learn how to tune into that, right, and express that. And you know, it's like there, when you if you're a pianist or you play some kind of instrument, right, you might be an okay pianist or an okay guitar player or an okay singer, but you know, you might not be Liberace. I'm showing my age with that.
True. It's true though.
You might not be, you know, you might not ever make it to Liberace, no matter how much you practice, because that's not part of who you're supposed to be in this particular lifetime.
Yeah, it's not part of your contract.
Right. It's not part of your contract, but everybody has psychic intuition, and I use intuition and psychic interchangeably, even though some people would disagree with me. And I'll tell you the difference is intuition comes through the bottom 3 chakras, and 1, 2, 3. Psychic or intuition or psychic comes through the top 3, 7, 6, 5, and they meet in the heart. Intuition, you feel it viscerally in your body, like you know it. You have some kind of,
you got that gut feeling.
You have a gut feeling. You've got some kind of response, right? Psychic comes in and you don't have that same gut feeling, and you're like, "Oh, is this my thought, or is this something else?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. It's true. That was good. That was a great conversation.
Yeah.
And darling, so hang on. Bonnie is here. We're gonna go back to Bonnie.
Cool. I just saw that she says hi. She's here. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So Bonnie, I feel like there's some, I don't know if this is you or somebody around you, but I feel like I have a problem with my foot, with my toes. I don't know if it's diabetes or circulation issue, but I feel like there's something going on with a foot and with toes, with something to do with circulation. So if you can just let me know if that's you or if that's somebody close to you, that would be great. And I love Keith says, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith. Yes, gout flare up from heart medication they give me. Okay, great. So again, I have to say I'm not a medical doctor. I don't prescribe. I do medical intuition. So take whatever suggestions that may come through and you use them to your best discretion. Okay. So I do feel like I'm sort of wondering what your daily food intake looks like. I almost feel like I might not be eating enough, or I'm eating at weird hours, or something about food. I want to sort of clean up the food, and I want to eat on a more consistent sort of schedule. Does that make sense at all? And I don't know why they want you to eat apples. I don't know if apples are good for gout, but they're showing me apples, and they want you to eat apples. Apples are actually really great to eat in the morning. So one of the things that I do, how I start my day, is warm lemon water. So I squeeze a whole lemon into warm water, and I drink a glass of that before I do anything else. And then I eat an apple, not an apple that's really sweet or one that's really tart, sort of a middle of the road apple. And that actually helps to cleanse the liver. It helps with your digestion, the fiber from the, don't peel it because you want the fiber from the peel. I do organic apples because apples are one of the dirty fruits that have a lot of pesticides. If they're not organic, and you can't like clear those pesticides out, even if you wash it with some kind of fruit wash or something like that. So that's how I start my day. And then I'll have something a couple of hours later. So I feel like that you could really use a cleanse, Bonnie, and some liver detoxification. And again, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't know if you're on medications or anything. So you want to definitely check with your doctor or pharmacist. But I feel like that you really do from a liver detox. Dandelion root is great for that. But again, you want to check with your pharmacy or doctor in case there's any complications with your medication. I like to go to the pharmacist personally to ask about conflicts with medication because that's what they do, right? They specialize in knowing about prescription medications and what the contradictions are. In my experience, medical doctors don't have as much knowledge as with every prescription there is, because there's tons of prescriptions out there. So I always go to the pharmacist to ask about any contradiction between any kind of supplements or medications that I might be taking. So I hope that helps. I do feel like a detox is going to help you, and that I don't know why they're showing me knitting or crocheting or some kind of knit work, right? So if you're not doing something with your hands, I feel like they want you to get busy with your hands, because I feel like that you need sort of that distraction, because I do feel like that you have some pain in the body, and I feel like that you need a distraction to keep you distracted from the pain that you feel in the body. And so make sure that you're busy, you're doing things with your hands. You can't not be out there running marathons or whatever, but busy. And also, when you work with your hands, whether it doesn't matter if it's clay or cooking or yarn and needlework or whatever, it actually can help you go into a meditative state as well. And
Yeah, totally.
yeah, right. So I just want to pull a card for her, and I hope that really helps. I mean, if you wanted to go in more in depth than that, Bonnie, it really would be a one-on-one. And let's see, what else does spirit want Bonnie to know? Oh, a leg up and protection. So you might feel like that you can't you haven't been able to catch a break, right? Where it seems like that the right people haven't been there to sort of give you the leg up that you need. And this could be the medical profession. They can't find answers. I feel like that's sort of related to that. And you just feel like you can't catch a break. So I want you to do some writing on that, some journaling on that. And I want you to start thinking about and using some positive programming, and say, luck comes to me in every way and every day, in every way and every day, and the right people come into my life. So I can't repeat that. So if you didn't get it, you'll have to watch the replay.
Luck comes to me in every way, every day.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Jeffrey. What do you have, Jeff?
Bonnie. So just not much more than that, but a few things that I was seeing when I scan somebody's body and I see shadows around their parts. I saw a shadow around like the lower abdomen, and I just feel like I want to talk about inflation. Not inflation, inflammatory. that's a different show altogether.
It's kind of fitting, though.
Right. Inflammation. I feel like I want to talk about inflammation, and to be cognizant and aware of the foods that you're eating, and or like an anti-inflammatory diet is like how I want to encourage, prebiotics, probiotics. It feels very digestion related. So
yeah, turmeric, ginger, cook with turmeric is really good. Yeah, Mediterranean anti-inflammatory diet. Yeah, I mean that's good for most people. For sure. But the other thing you can look at also is oh gosh, what is it called? It's Dr. Young, and it's about pH, the body pH, and the medical medium talks a lot about it also. Anthony Williams.
Yeah.
So you can look Anthony up and look at his protocols. They're not for everybody, but they certainly can help. Yeah, to detox. Celery juice detoxifies the body. I love celery juice.
Yes.
Yeah. Keith, I love Keith. Keith is so awesome. Don't forget to go on Instagram and look up Cynthia and Jeff and subscribe.
They're amazing. Oh, hi, Debbie. Debbie's here. Excuse me. Yeah, Debbie's here. Debbie's gonna come on with me on the 22nd, I think we talked about. Yay.
Awesome. Hi, Debbie. Welcome.
Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, we have a bunch of new people. Michael has come in. Transcend with Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. So we have Michael Christopher.
Michael.
Let's see. Jess says, I took my dog for a beautiful walk today. And I looked down and there was a little ghost tag on the path right by my foot. A little ghosty present for me. Cute.
That is cute, Jess.
Cute. All right, let's see. Do we have more questions here? Oh, Keith says saw a red cardinal and saw 2 black crows. Awesome. People, our loved ones often come as cardinals and other types of birds. I've had a robin at my sliding glass door for about a week. It just like crazy at the door, banging into the glass, wanting, like, pecking it, like not flying into it, like fighting with the glass.
I love that.
Yeah, my mother comes as a robin, so I wonder what the heck she's trying to tell me.
Let's do one last collective for the collective.
Okay, that sounds great. There's so much in the chat. It's hard to to find the questions. Okay, so that was a whole pile. We're not going to use that. Let's see. What message does Spirit want to leave everyone as we're wrapping up, huh?
Yes.
Are we? Or are we going to keep going?
Yeah, do you want to keep going? I mean, we can keep going if you'd like.
It's up to you.
It's 8:10 for you.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
What do you think?
Oh, Bonnie says, thank you guys. I do take both turmeric and ginger. Okay, awesome.
Kidney and liver problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Bonnie.
Yeah, Reiki, Bonnie. Some energy work too can help as well. All right, let's see. Let's pull a card. Let's play. Come to the edge. This is about taking risks, right? You've got all that you need, and it's time now to jump. Yeah, come to the edge, take the risk. So anybody that that's here with us live, or who is watching on YouTube or Instagram, on Facebook, or who sees the replay, whatever you've been sitting on, you're ready. It's time to move forward. It's time to take the risk. It's time to leap. And sometimes leaping means it's a test of faith, right? Where we don't know what the result is going to be. We don't have a safety net, and it can be scary to take a big leap. But this card is all about that. It's about, you're at the edge. You are ready to move, and you are ready to take that big next step and big leap. And now's the time to go for it.
Yeah, and I want to, I feel like I need to say this too. You might not feel ready. Mm-hmm. You might feel like you need more classes, you need more practice sessions, you need more practice, whatever. And I get that fear. Trust me. I totally get that fear when you feel like you're not ready. Here's what I know from my own self in doing this work over the last 16, however many years. I didn't think I was ready for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I need this class, and I need this class, and I need this teacher, and I need that teacher. You know what? I come to find out it was just a delay tactic within myself, delaying the inevitable of getting out there doing this work, right?
Right.
It was just a delay tactic. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, okay. No shame, no guilt. Completely understand. Got it. Yep. I totally was, because I was afraid. And there are times where I'm still afraid to get on screen and camera and whatever, but here's what I found out. When we show up in the way that we are supposed to show up, when we are in alignment with our soul, Spirit doesn't leave us hang. No. When we show up, Spirit shows up. And if it's not spirit work that you're doing, if you're a teacher, if you are starting a new job, if you are in alignment and you realize you're here and you this is where you are and this is what you're doing, take that step. We've got so many helpers on the other side. We've got so many people on the other side. We've got so many people here that have our back. And when it feels like we are literally going to, make a complete ass out of ourselves, you know, and say the wrong thing, or just look foolish, or look like a fraud, or look dumb, or, you know, so what? So what? We get up and start over and do it again. You know?
Yeah. And that, you know, that's so important, Jeffrey, because that's the whole key, is getting up and doing it over again. Right. Because we make mistakes and we learn. Right. And if we wait until it's perfect, we'll never do it and we won't learn. And we're holding back our gifts from people who might really need it. Somebody here today needed a message that we brought, you know, whether it was directly to them or they overheard it, but it was a message that they needed, right, in their life right now. And when we don't do the work, when we don't lean in, when we withhold and think, oh, it's not perfect, I can't do it yet. And I mean, I've been saying for 2 years I'm getting classes out there again. And you know, I've been taking a million classes, and there's a million reasons why I haven't done it yet, right? And the biggest reason is people want me to teach psychic development, and I don't want to teach that. But that's what people want me to teach. And it's so interesting because, you know, talking about messages from spirit and how do you listen. And 2 people yesterday, 2 of my mentors out of the blue said, you need to be teaching psychic development. I went, oh, right. So guess what? My next course is coming out is going to be psychic development. But you know, and so why haven't I done it in 2 years? Honestly, I'm going to be really transparent here. I had one of my students who was my biggest fan and big rave in reviews, and was with me for a few years. She went through an emotional crisis and took it out on my teaching, and I didn't know at the time. She did it to everybody, all the other teachers that she was taking classes with at the time, but I took it personally because she was also my friend. And so I lost my confidence, right? And so to get back in the game again, it's taken me a while to say, you know what, I need to do this, and whoever it's meant for, that'll be the right people that show up. And you know, and so even as long as I've been doing this, you know, sometimes I get knocked off my path, in whatever that is. In this case, it's the teaching. I know I'm a teacher. I've always known that I was a teacher, even when I was a little kid. And so it's about being vulnerable and brave and getting back out there again. And so whatever it is, know that even us who have been doing this for a while, we sometimes don't do what we could be doing, and hold back, but spirit will keep knocking on the door to get you to go in the direction. And in my experience, when you don't answer the door, the knock will get louder and louder until you finally, you know, open the door and actually get on your path. And I have a whole big story about that, but that's for another day.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. You just said a mouthful. Absolutely. You know, when spirit comes knocking, if you have all the light, turn the lights off. Shh, we're not home. Shh, we're not home. And you're hiding behind the couch.
Yeah.
They'll go to the back door. They'll go to the side windows. They'll go to the sliding glass door. They'll come back to the front door, and the knocks get louder. And yeah.
And sometimes the knocks will knock you, you know, hard. So rather than getting that cosmic and literal 2x4, you know, I encourage you to take the leap, to dive in. And it's not like I haven't been doing anything for the last 2 years. I've been on Clubhouse, you know, and TikTok, and doing all other things, doing everything but teaching. But, you know, I've been doing reading and speaking and things like that. And I wrote a book, and I'm in a couple of other books. So I have been doing other things, which I needed to do those things too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do those things too. Somebody commented about the Claires and the explanations of Carol. Actually, I have a book that's available on Amazon. I hope that's okay, Jeffrey, that I mentioned
Go
that.
ahead. Absolutely.
It's super inexpensive. It's like $1.99. I have it really cheap so everybody can afford it. And it's an ebook, so you can go download that. And I talk about the clairs and the personality profiles in there in a way that is pretty simple that everybody can understand. And I share a little bit about my story, how I started in the beginning of that. So I hope that helps. It's a really good introduction to the clairs and also to the personality profiles.
And that's at cynthiafontaine.com.
I think there's a link there.
I'll make sure there's one here afterwards.
Thank you. I leave that stuff is all Elise. And
what's the name of the book?
Psychic: A Guide to Your Intuition. Let me see. I'm going to my website right now. It is available on Amazon.
Oh,
yeah. So, my books. Look at that. Oh, that's interesting. The page is blank. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get Elise on this now. So go to Amazon, Google Amazon, look for Cynthia Fontaine, and the book will come up, and we'll have the link.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, I'm glad you asked, Jeffrey, because I did not know there was a problem with that page.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
Yeah, me too. Good. See, Spirit.
All right, guys, I have to get the dogs out.
Okay, so this has been so much fun.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love spending time with you and with the wonderful people that come in. It's really this is what I love to do.
Yeah, it's what I love to do too. I'm gonna bug you again and get you back on here in the next month or so.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and you guys, so I will be out the Wednesday the 8th and Wednesday the 15th. I'm going to Key West for some much needed respite.
Good for you.
It's been 2 years since we've been away. So yeah, so I'll be out the next 2 weeks. But then we've got, well, like I said, Debbie, Transcend with Debbie. Debbie Romero will be here with me on the 22nd. And Cheryl Murphy's coming back. Cynthia's coming back. Yeah. Dina DeCastro is coming back. Dina DeCastro, our local astrologer, is going to be talking to us about what just happens this Friday. This Friday, Jupiter and Uranus conjunct. Something big happens this Friday, and we're going to have a big talk about it. So, yeah.
That'll be exciting. I know we just had a Jupiter Taurus thing a couple of weeks ago. Oh, Saturn, she says. So Jupiter and Saturn. I know we just had a couple of weeks ago, we had a Jupiter Taurus thing, which actually where Taurus is, and you can ask her about this, where Taurus is in your chart, that sets the sort of tone for the next 13 years for you with that conjunction that we just had, that Taurus conjunction.
Yes.
Do you know about that?
I don't, but I remember one of the astrologers talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, astrology and me, I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, I know quite a bit. I can speak to it a little bit, but as far as knowing what's happening on the weekly, no.
Yeah. I just took a workshop with the Jupiter Taurus thing, and that was like maybe 2 weeks ago. So I'd be interested. I can't wait to tune in to Jupiter Uranus was last month.
Oh, it was? Okay. So there's something. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, there's something happening this Friday.
Yeah, Carol said Saturn.
You know what? Before we go, somebody came here from Instagram when Instagram shut itself off.
Yeah.
And I want to get to them quick before. Oh, here we go. Mary. Hi, Mary. Thanks for coming back over here. There you go. Okay.
Thanks, Mary.
So wisdom around the book that Mary's writing. Ooh.
I feel like you have actually 2 books in one. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I feel like that you are tackling a big topic, and I feel like that there's 2 books in one. So the right now is people are reading books like up to 120 pages for the most part. Anything more than 120 pages is even the publishers are sort of turning away from. So I'm in that Hay House Authorpreneur group. I've been in the Hay House writing group since they started, so I get a lot of like what's going on in the writing world right now, and they,
Great
you
to
know,
know.
yeah, and they really recommend books up to like 120-ish pages. You could push 130, but more than that, people really aren't reading longer books these days. So, and I feel like that you have so much material to share, that I feel like that I'd like to see it in 2 books. Does that make sense, Mary?
I hope Mary's still here.
I hope so too. I hope so too. And Keith says he's a Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio moon. Wow, Keith, I'm a Virgo sun, a Gemini moon, and a Capricorn rising. Oops. You weren't asking me.
We were just talking to you, Mary.
Yeah, Mary. Don't know the book's name, but she's voraciously writing it.
Oh, she was responding to Carol. Okay, so anyway, Mary, did you understand what Cynthia was talking about with regard to your book?
Yeah, so Mary, you are writing a book, correct?
Come on, Mary.
Let's pick a card. Sometimes there's a lag.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are typing. So let's see. Let's pick a card for Mary regarding her book. Oh, interesting. Breathe and protection. So relax. I feel like that you're putting yourself under a lot of pressure and unnecessary deadlines. I would keep writing, but breathe. You've got time to do this, and you've got time to put it all together. It's not a rush to the finish line as much as it is you've got time to put it out, okay? And I feel like that the revisions might get a little frustrating, but don't worry. Breathe through it. You will get it done in cooperation and conjunction with spirit. Ask for help and just breathe through it. Know that it will get out in the right timing, but don't like make yourself crazy trying to get it done where you're not, going for a walk or, living life. You're forgetting to eat, things like that. Take a breath, maybe even take a step back and then come back to it and then get revitalized.
Divine timing.
You can't make this stuff up. Oh my! No wonder you were laughing over there in the background.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I really want to remind you, Mary, if you're still there, that you're not in a rush. You're not in a hurry. That this is happening in its own divine timing. And it feels like there's a lot of light around this. A lot of light around this writing.
Yeah.
It feels very good. It feels very good.
Yeah.
I like that. Know that.
Yeah, deep topics.
Yeah.
I love it. This has been so much fun. I can't wait to catch your show with your astrologer. What's your astrologer's name?
Dina DeCastro. Yeah, Dina DeCastro.
Dina DeCastro.
Awesome.
Yeah,
She's been on the show quite a few times and who's so helpful.
Oh, good. I can't wait to catch some of your other shows.
Thank you, love. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you guys so much for being here this late. It's 8:30 for you guys in the East Coast already.
It is. I get my second one now.
You get the zoomies at 9 o'clock at night.
I do get the zoomies. I love the nighttime. I've always loved nighttime. I don't know why. I was born under a morning star, but I love the nighttime.
Well, then we're going to do this again in June. Just
Awesome.
putting that out there.
Sounds great. Have a wonderful vacation. And I look forward to hearing all about it and seeing you soon.
Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. My name is Jeffrey Peck. This has been Cynthia Fontaine with us. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm hugging you from here. And I'm hugging all of you from here too. I love you all to pieces.
Love you all so much. Thank you.